Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another stream. So today we keep working on Saturn. So some news regarding how the last stream ended. I did a bit of work for maybe half an hour and managed to make this shader work on Unity. The problem was that I was using the built-in pipeline and not URP. And yeah, when I switched to it, everything worked. So fortunately, yeah, it was a seamless, how can I say it? Migration. Because materials on the built-in pipeline don't work on URP, but there is a handy converter, which is great. Thanks, Unity. That being said, I don't remember if I created a branch for this task. I think I did. Yes. Yes, I did. Okay. Good. So the next step is, I really wanted this to work before doing anything, by the way. To write a script. To do that, I need to do the following. I need an origin. So let's do right. Origin. So yeah, one origin, the origin will be 3. Yes, 3, 0, like for the ray. Then we have a target. Make a square. I mean a cube. And for that I want no-fly zone, because this is what I'm going to use. Yeah, I mean, more or less. Okay. Right. So first of all, I want the ray out of the way. Yeah. And the new script. I need a new script to handle the position of the ray. And yeah, add new Unity script, and we call it scan beams. And then I take scan beams, scan array, whatever. I guess it's a bean, not array, not a bean, a bean. So what do we want for this? I move this to another window. So what I want for this is, first of all, serialize field private transform origin, and then the transform target. And also, I hope you can see me, yes. The speed. Right. Yeah. I also want a reference. To shape attributes. I think there is a, wait a second. A debug mode, so I don't have to make all these serializable fields where it's not necessary. My microphone is on the way. No, actually not. Nope. Or debug. I think it's debug. So I can close this. Yeah, so I can just do, what do I need as public? None of this. No. This should be public. And then shape attributes. It's also only using, internally, so. But in any case, we do like this. And yeah, what we do is, oh, I cannot change them even in debug mode. I guess that makes sense. Okay, well then, I'll remove the debug mode. This one, probably not, yeah. You know what? Let's make everything serializable so I don't have to think about it. I just want to test the code for now. Right. Good. So origin is this. Target is this. Leaf movement is maybe 5. Sheet attributes is this. Good. Now, what I want to do in the update, can we do update? Why can't I? Let's use generate. Nothing here. Nope. Okay. All you want. Just take any script with some logic. All these folders empty or what? I'm confused. Yeah, it's just void update. Oh, it didn't work because it was outside the class, maybe. Yeah. Whoops. Good. Wait. What I indeed want. So this is going to be private later. I mean, I don't even need this. I can just do this. Enable. I can just use transform directly. Should I do that or should I keep? So I want one ray. I'm going to have more than one ray for each shape for sure. So I think I just I guess just use transform at this point, just to avoid any problem in misunderstanding. Okay. Okay. What we also need is This is valid. Use required component. What's the difference between whatever? That's not very convenient to use for me. Okay. I guess we just to start. Good. Let's see how I can access the position. What can I set? Position of a vertex in the line. Index. Oh yeah, I need an index. Oh yeah, sorry, I didn't know how this worked. That's why I need an index. Okay, so 0 is the origin, and the origin is... I can do that, yes. And this is the target. Good. So far, so good. Let's quickly test this, shall we? Try to show you, I mean, it's just a simple test. Right, you see? Yeah, but something is going on. No, it's not where it should be. The origin is here, and the beam is here. What the heck is that? Oh, maybe because it needs to be 0, 0, 0. Is it? Yeah. Needs to stay in the origin. I can imagine why that's the case, so just to avoid any misunderstandings. Let's do 6 here and okay. Good. Retest. All right. Works as intended. Now, let's think like this. So the ray needs to be this movement. So I need to work with X and Z. Okay. So we have the speed and ship attributes is set. So I don't need to worry about those things for now. Or efficiency, I would rather say. So I can just do, so there are two movements, up, and down. Yeah. So what I want to do is the following. I need to change this with an offset. It should be like, so for each frame, I calculate an offset, and this offset depends on, so the target is in the center of the objects. If I want to do up and down, let's start with epsilon because that's what I need to do. I do plus, let's do it like this, yeah. Kinds of flexible, I would say, but then this needs to be a vector, really. So what I do is vector. So here I don't remember how to use lerp. Okay, let's ask AI. And then a new chat. How do I Or I go crazy. Let's see what commands I need to use. Yeah, what I mentioned. So it's off mod f thing time per movement. Shit. Right, it cannot be, because this is a vector 3, so that means I need to do loop. So if start value, end value, and then we have a value used to interpolate. Okay, so this will be, no, it's target minus offset. This will be one target dot my brain needs to do some work here, so let's stick to the plan. Let's do just epsilon for now. Okay. So what I need to do is so the offset is actually .11. Okay. So what I want to do is any method I can use here? No. Okay. So target position is the origin doesn't change at all. But what changes is this. So it's target plus offset. Offset is, let's assume it's at 0. Off. Okay, into the new. Right. We do. I just need to think about the difference, and the difference is simply on the y axis. So I need to change this to this value, which should be minus offset to offset float. Cannot resolve float. Lerp is in vector 3. Oh, right. It should work now. So I have this vector that has, what does it do? It's just doing up and down the y-axis, and it's moving with time. But this does only one swing, right? Pretty sure it does only one swing. Oh yeah, that's why. Oh, I didn't see. I forgot. It's been a long time. I don't use sines and sines and cosines. Hi, whole streams. What's up? How are you doing today? So why is this? Now I try to explain it to you. Just a second. This code is completely unreadable. So what I do is, let's go start from the end and go backwards. I have a target. The origin state always the same. but the end of the ray moves. So the target is position changes over time. And what I do is I want to add this vector. Right now, this vector changes only in the y-axis. Why? Because it moves up and down like this. And as you can see here, we have y. And mu y is a value that goes from minus offset to offset, and offset is the no-fly zone. So it moves up and down, but always stays inside the no-fly zone. The problem is that if I want this ray to do up and down to simulate a scanning, then I need to lerp and have as a speed of movement something that fluctuates between plus and minus. So that's why I have this thing here. Let's see if it works. It does one swing and then it stops. Well, okay, I'm a bit confused about this behavior. Why is that? It does one swing and then I think I have a clue what the problem is. Bingo of me switching from one to the other is very annoying. Nope. So this is correct. The problem is here because it's specifically here. The range is correct. but how I calculate it is not. What I want to do is uh, we have one offset, and this goes from -1 to 1. Sounds about right. Okay, yeah, this is what I want. Maybe we can work on the movement a little bit. 1.5. I think 2 is okay. I will make sure to save this code. Now, what I'm questioning right now is this code should work good as long as I stay in this axis. But if I move the origin vertically and then like this, well, it's actually good, but what about from the top? No, it translates to all positions. I mean, we can work on this, but what about this? Yeah, this is okay. Actually, it's behaving better than I thought. But there are two problems. So one is the rotation of this ray. It's not good. So let's start from there. First of all, how can I rotate this beam? Does this work reasonably in some way? This is not doing what I think it's doing. So the thing is rotating correctly. If it's in the origin, which means I'm using this incorrectly. But it should be an easy fix. What this means is instead of doing this, I need to do this transform the position equals origin, and the rest should work. Well, that's not what I wanted. Now the target is broken. Target is here, but it's doing nothing alike. The target is Camden. It's on 604 and the scan is 604. This is because okay, so if I want to have this in the origin, then I want the target to be target should be question mark. So to solve this issue, let's do the following. I want the beam in the origin, and I also want this in the origin, and the cube should be wrong. Okay. This works well if I am in the origin, but if I move the origin, is broken. How do I calculate the target? I'm a bit confused. So the cube is at 004, and the scan beam is at 004. But if I change the origin, I change the origin, thanks. The beam is still at 004, which means that the target, the second value should be relative to the origin. Oh my god, fucking math. I thought this was like global, like world position, not local position. So this means that I need to do origin plus or minus okay, I think this might be the fix. I'm not 100% sure. Okay, math time. Oh, we have the origin here and the target here. Let's think about this in a 2D way. This x1, y1, and this is x2, y2. Since the ray is relative to the center, what I need to do is the target is so this is equals to I think I can do this one. Yeah. And this is how do I call it? X and yeah, X and hit A and B. Good. Toilet break. Good. So let's try to make it sense. Since the position, like the target, the destination position of the ray is relative to the blue dot, I cannot use the red dot to tell the target. So, but what I can do is saying I can do, so my target X is equal to X1 plus B, and my target Y is, as I said, this is relative position. Sorry, Y. But A is, and so we do this. Are you serious? Okay. But A is equal to Y2 minus Y1, and this is equal to X2 minus X1. Doesn't really matter if it's positive or negative. I think the math should work anyway. I'm pretty sure, but we will see. So what this means is that this, which was the target position and cannot be used, should be equal to origin dot position plus target dot position minus origin dot position. Sorry, I mean minus. And this should work. But the origin is not really what I think. Let's make my life simple. I do transfer dot position equals origin dot position. Or maybe I can just do this equals this. Does it make sense? No. Which means that when I move the origin game object, then the scan beam game object should move too. Of course, I need to be in play mode. Oh, but well, I wasn't in play mode. That was the point. I need to be in play mode. No. Doesn't work. Why not? No, I think I completely flipped what I was supposed to do. Because it's clearly not working. Wait, the target is the origin plus this and this, right? Our target is why is it not working? The origin plus the target minus the origin. What? No. This is still work position. Since it's relative position, we need to do this. Right? I think. Finally, for fuck's sake. Good. Yes. Wait. Now the thing is, right now we have been working with the position. But now we need to work with the rotation. This ray should be rotated like 90 degrees. Houston, we have a problem. Wait, what? No. This rotation. So this is not what I need. What can I do to... So the current issue is that I want the ray to be rotated based on the position. In this case, I can't even do that with the rotation. I need to do this with a second ray. Yeah, but if I add a second ray, what do I get? That's not what I want. The fuck, no. I don't think there is a... There is any rotation. Hmm. Trying to get AI help before I do what I think I will do. I don't get it. I don't know what the AI is trying to tell me. So it's telling me to do this. Let's see if it works, which I really doubt. But this is so difficult to see. No, actually this is correct. Is it? Well, mostly. But what I mean is the rotation is correct. Like if you see that the ray stays rotated correctly. But let's say And here, does it work? Yeah, exactly, it works. What? What did it change? Word space equals true, which should be here, I guess. Well, that solves the issue. The ray is, well, does it? Does it solve the issue? Question mark. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't solve the issue. Wait, what? And if I do that, no, no, this is not correct. I think that the way to solve it is to not use the angle. Like, I don't think I can change the angle. Hmm. So I think this is not correct. Hmm. Is that it? I think that maybe the problem is not AI. The problem is that I'm seeing the problem itself in the wrong way. Um, Instead of going against the system, maybe I should lean on it. Let me see if I manage to explain myself. So here I'm behind the ray, and as you can see, the ray is rotating. And here the ray is doing, it's here. And if I go to the top, it's here. So what the ray wants to do is to be flat always. So if I go in front of it, it will look weird, but it's kind of not. Let's try to play this. Yeah, you see, the ray always try to be flat. That's the problem. You see, because now it's doing up and down with this angle. So it tries to be flat with respect to my position, the camera position. And if I go here, it tries to be flat compared to my position. So the problem is that it's scanning incorrectly. Okay. Let's try to understand this. I noticed that the line renderer tries to be flat compared to the camera position, which is good behavior, right? It's just good behavior in general. However, the problem is that instead of asking AI, I have a... So what I need to change, what I actually need to change is where it's going up and down. So now let's take this position, right? This is wrong. Why is it wrong? My expectation is that it's going like this, no? From the other side I don't see to this side. So that means that the target, my God, the target position is relative okay, so that the target for example, the ray moves up and down on the epsilon axis when next to the target object. In that case, I expect the ray not to do up and down in the epsilon axis, but to move from the side of the object compared to myself, the camera, to the other side, which I don't see. So how do I adjust the winging of the ray based on the camera and not the let's see if it understands. If it doesn't, I have a clue about how to fix this. I can definitely do it myself, but it's going to need brain power, so yes. Let's see if this is what I need. First of all, let's see if it works. No. Okay, I don't think the AI is able to understand the perspective issue happening here, nor I'm very good at explaining it. So let's start from but by the way, I think I should change the code when it's not in play mode. I think I'll just want to check to be sure. Okay. Yeah, it's not working. Okay. Because all of this somewhat assumes that there is no camera, but there is a camera, and that's the issue. So we have this guy, blue guy. This thing looks similar. And then we have, can I do a square? Yes. So this is the object. Let's make it big. And then we have the camera. Let's do, what can I do? Another point. Oops, no, that's not what I wanted to do. Let's use dark green. Is there a dark green? Okay, let's do purple. Yeah, let's do purple. And let's assume that it's here. So what I need to do is the following. Okay. Okay, okay. Okay, let me duplicate. Actually, no, let's make a new level. So the scanning gray should be, so it should be scanning from here to here. Okay, this dot is not, doesn't look good. Okay, I need to monitor it again. Oh God. Given, oh, I want to apply. So if you guys understood the problem with the perspective, so the ray has been drawn, you will understand why I need to swipe between those 2 points when the scanning is happening from here to here. Oh, that's so fucking stressful for one fucking ray. I'm pretty sure I could have used a shader if I actually had this view. Anyway. So the swiping should be from here to here. Relative to the center of the target, which is this. Well, more or less. So what they have this, so this is the offset. What I need to do is to project away from here to the center to offset divided by 2. Okay. Back up. Oh, I hate this. God, I hate this. Do I need to use word space? Question mark. It makes probably sense. So we have seen a machine. Not sure if camera does main is correct. This should be in the machine camera. Camera manager. And Cinemachine free look is the main camera, okay. Yeah, I need to take Cinemachine's free look. No, this is not free look. Yeah, I think this is the camera I need. So um, so first of all, let's ignore the offset. Since the origin is this, what I need to do, so the target is, my god, no. What does it mean when I use the word space? Is there a toggle? Let me check. It's use word space. Yeah, draw lines in word space. What this means is that the position of the ray doesn't really matter. So I don't need to do this. At least this is what I expect. So I do this. Okay, so how do I calculate this? I have one ray. I need to calculate this minus this. So starting from I think it will be very useful to visualize what's happening. How can I do that? Can I draw a solid? So Unity debug solid sphere Kidsmos draw sphere. Center and radius. Okay. Now, let's do this. The command is Kidsmos dot sphere, draw sphere. Now I need the, let's call it I mean, since it's too relative to the camera, I cannot put this here inside. I think if I do that here, it's not a problem. Or it's Unity, it's here. But what I want to do, just to avoid, like, this is confusing, so I want to assume, so I make this, I assume that I can do this. This is a transform. Camera transform. And I'm trying to find a good way to debug it. God, stop. and I don't want to debug it through the camera. I will use an empty game object. Sorry guys, I need to double check an email actually. Yeah, it's something regarding the job interview for tomorrow. So, it's a fake. I actually want this to be something solid, like a sphere. Possibly something smaller. Can I set the radius? I guess I just do this. Okay. So let's assume this is a camera. Right? This is of course not the real camera, but fake camera. I just need this for debugging. So what I expect is a gizmo here, like a sphere here, and a sphere here. And when I move these around, those spheres should move around. So maybe I can actually use roll gizmos. Wrong place. Of course, the gizmo should be, I think it's enabled, yeah, I'm pretty sure, like 99% sure it's enabled. So what I want is I don't want this. What I want is its transform. What? Camera transform. Okay. We call this camera side sphere. We call this close. Difficult to give good names. Are closed side, on side. This is the center. Then I need the radius. I can do 1. It's not a problem. To do that, for the moment, let's say it doesn't matter. Right now, I just want to see vector trade. I just want to see them being drawn. In order to see that, I need to go to scan beam, which is I guess these are like solid. Okay. A little bit too big, but let's kids mode color red. Okay, it's really solid. Okay. We do 0.5 or 0.25. Okay. And I need to use the color. No. Okay. F. Okay, now I cannot see them. Okay, they are quite small. Okay, let's do 0.5 and call it a day. It's not important. Okay. So close size. Close size is, let me take the drawing to the other screen. Is camera.position. So the close size is target.position. Just a second. So what I need to consider the offset. So in this case, plus the offset. Guys, give me a sec. So this minus this gives me this vector. And what I need to do is to make it off a little bit longer. Okay, so we are doing the far side. Okay, let's start with the far side. So we do camera transfer the position minus target dot position minus offset divided by 2. Of course, this needs to be a vector because we are working with vectors. And the vector is why I cannot do this? No, because it's not a vector. Right, forgot. Okay, so I need to do this normalized plus an amount, and this is offset divided by 2. So this is a position in space, specifically this position. And what I want to do no, this is a vector direction. So what I want to do is this vector to be to have this length, okay? Because this takes the direction and this is the length, right? And at this point, what I do is target dot position plus this small piece, and this is the far side. If I want to do the other side, is So I still take this, but instead of doing that, I divide by okay, I hope this is correct, because it's everything being calculated in my mind. So okay, they are both inside. Not moving, okay. This is word space, right? So I take the position and I sum this, and I sum a vector. This vector here is a position. What if I want this? I need to have this, and to do that I do this minus this to have the direction. Then I normalize it and I make it like this. Then I give it a length of offset divided by 2, and then I position this here. So this gives the direction. So sorry, this is the far side. Camera.position minus target.position is this minus this is this. So this is close position and the other one is far position. However, it's still not working, so there is a mistake somewhere. Target.position. Can I debug this? I don't think so. I'm not sure. I think it's bugged when I'm using the gizmo. Target.position plus camera position minus this normalized. This is the close side. I don't know, this is not science fiction. It should work. Seems like it's not changing. I think there is a problem. Maybe it's not using pointers correctly when it's not running. Let's try to play it. Okay, so That's what I expected. Let's do one at a time, okay? The cube, we said, is no fly zone. This. Let's work on the close side. Okay. Not bad. What if I... Clearly the offset is not enough. And the reason for this is that I need to compensate like this. Just to be able to see the real position. Yeah, okay, so this makes more sense. So if I move the fake camera, this should move. Yes. Finally, something is working. It works perfectly, okay. And now the other side is easy. Why is it easy? You might ask, because it's the same. But we do far side. And instead, we need to change the direction to the opposite side. So to get the other direction, I just do this minus this. That way I get the same vector but opposite direction. And what I should do here is have this vector. This part doesn't change because it's just the length of the vector. And here just change the direction. So it should work. My god, these things are satisfying. Don't get me wrong, but God, God save the queen. It's correct. Okay, well, the question is now, does this shit work? Because the camera transform is this, I think. And is it this, actually? Yeah, I think so. So, yeah. Then I do selected, because I don't want to see now. By the way, I realized something, that I can use the camera of, I mean, it should work, right? Let's test this. Now, if I'm, okay, let's save, first of all, PNP. Because it's still not what it should be. Well, too late. Now I do this and close this. And while the camera free look should work, but what I need to do is to change this shit here so to work as intended. So in this case, what I want to do, so far side and close side. Forget about this. This is a float. So the type of this is float, just to be clear. So this is the origin of the beam, and it stays the same. Well, let's do this. This is the origin of the beam. And then we have two swipings. So the swiping goes from so now this is word space, right? So this is the origin dot position, and this so the value should be this is rough, guys. This is rough. Because I need to work. I cannot work with a float right now. This is not gonna work. So the position changes. So there is a fixed part and a variable part. So the fixed part is this. Well, without this thing. Right. Let me call it the shortcut doesn't work. Why can't I refactor? Let me configure your mode. This is not why you are not giving me a new vector. Okay, let's call it fixed part. And this is offset divided by 2. Super ugly naming, so bear with me. It's one fixed part. I mean, in the end, the real offset makes no sense. Let's just do this for the moment. So what I need to do is this plus or minus something. Since we are working with word space right now, the swinging is swing vector is equal to something. Okay, there is a problem here. What if I do, okay, this is the close side, normalize with an offset. However, this quantity is quantity so the swinging, I cannot control the swing here, unfortunately. How can I control the swing? I can do minus, right? How the fuck can I control the direction of... God damn it, yes. Okay, here I don't know. Trying to ask AI for this, I don't know how to swing a vector. base. Okay, so I need... Oh, exactly what I was thinking. I was not sure if that made sense, but it actually does. So you need to do this. Yeah, I know, I don't care right now. This controls the swinging, basically. My God, is it gonna work? I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it's working. I think it's working. Okay. That being said, I need to test this. How can I test this? Question mark. Well, first of all, let's do this. If I play, let me see where the spaceship should be. Right. So this is correct. Yeah, it's correct. I just need to make sure that it swings a little bit more. Do I need to save here? Okay. And so let's do a little bit of a code cleanup right now. This is like my eyes are bleeding right now. Good. So we have camera. So when I have this object, right? I know already that I should probably have an object pool, so I need to make sure that I change, that I'm able to change those values. Can I generate setter and getter? Because I need to be able to, to change. So setter and getters are properties, I assume. So origin, target, the beam, no. The camera should be set at the beginning. Okay, let's do those two for now. Only set, I need to get and yeah. Does this work? I think it should work. That's why I've done it. Yeah, that works. Because I want to use it for debugging. Although this is not clear, it should be inspector read-only, but okay. I should be able to change this, yes. What about shape attributes? So every time I set the target, I should set the attribute, but what I really want is not the attribute itself. It's the attributes. I just care about one value. That's the no flight zone. But if I want to use a pointer, yeah, I might as well use this read only. And the camera transform also should be set not through the inspector. So give me a second. I cannot change these values anymore. It's bad. But it's okay. Yeah, it's okay. For the moment. scan here. Because the code is working, so it doesn't really matter what the initial state is. So transform.position dot origin dot position. This needs to stay, yes. And actually, when it comes to this, you know, let's not do this. Let's do like a public method. I can call it public reset put, and here I do this dot target equals target. And I also need to, why is it? Must have a return type. Yeah, I also need to change. So the target is the position of the spaceship, right? But ship attributes, I mean, if I have the target transform, I can get the ship attribute and make this private in the end. I don't need this. I can just do require. I need to do something else. Ship attributes. Class name is not valid. God. Only assertion. It's utils component utils, yes. and the camera. Well, the camera, I need to do this. I can just do that, like reset script. What did I need to do? Also need to... do I need to set again? I mean, in theory, it shouldn't change, because that's the camera, so... It shouldn't change, so I can just do it here. I do this once, I do this once. I use offset here. Do I ever use this is unused? What about the offset? Oh, it's camera transform. Okay. We have camera transform. Right. Here I just do I don't even need to save attributes. I'll just save the offset. And yeah. Then, yeah, the thing is, when I'm pulling this from an object pool, I should just, like, I don't know the origin and the target at the beginning, so it makes no sense to set those two. It is already set. This is set here once. Line render is only once. Or offset, yeah. The offset, yeah, I need this. Oh, do I need the offset? No, because the script is non-functioning, so doesn't matter. And yeah. Okay. Okay. Looks good. So I need to call this to get this and this. This is already set. Offset divided by 2. This is already offset divided by 2. Then, so I just need to do offset. And so how do you suggest to change this? We got parentheses here. You mean this? Apparently. Okay. I thought this was done automatically, but fine. Good. Parameter target hides serialized field. What do you mean? Hides. I don't hide anything. Just doing this. I don't know. Yeah. Looks good. So this is still not perfect, but it doesn't need to. I still want a little bit more offset for the scanning, but that's not super important, I would say. I can deal with that. Or maybe I can just do divided by 2 is not enough, so maybe I can do 1.5. I mean 1.5 is this, right? I mean I just took 1.5, so divided by 2. Because if I divide for, yeah, I'm just multiplying for 2/3, right? Good, yeah. Give a bit more offset. I mean, now the integration part is not obvious. Integrating this beam into the spaceship. Or at least the behavior, I guess. But you know what? For testing, I think I will remove this. Right. I really need to go. Also need to create a ticket in Notion to rename this class. So this is to rename it. This is a task. backlog would critical. It's trivial. It's short. It's script inspector. Yeah, it's not a big deal, but I still need it because I know that I'm going to forget. Okay, well, I hope I didn't break the code. I need to check it anyway, so I also need to change to set this scene. I also need to add validator. Okay. Well, guys, that's it. I need to mount some smoke signals, so and I'm not going to mount them, unfortunately. So yeah, thanks for watching. This was a rough one, mostly for, you know, vector work, but I made it, so I'm proud of it. And yeah, see you in the next one. Bye bye.